It's tequila talk time.
Again.
Here we are. Trying a new tequila. For us. Called
Dos Artes. It's a beautiful bottle.
It is really. It makes me feel like we're in Cabo.
Yes. All tequila really makes me feel like I'm in Mexico. Just the smell of it and the ceremony of it. So, salud.
Salud. Cheers.
Let's get this started.
Pour yourself a glass of your finest tequila or whatever you drink. From Straw Hut Media, this is Tequila Talk with Daisy Fuentes and Richard Marx.
By the way, we'll have to. You'll hear that I was off mic in the beginning of that because I had to pour the tequila and I didn't have the mic, and you have the stand because
amateur.
I can't find the other mic stand, so I just.
Where is it?
I can't find it. If I knew where it was, I wouldn't say I couldn't find it.
Well, where could it be? I mean, how many places did you use a mic stand?
By the way, this is weird. This is how distracted I was.
You were not paying attention.
No, we toasted. We didn't kiss. Look at you wearing lipstick.
We're doing this.
Oh, yeah, right. That's been a while.
I know.
It's good shade for me, though, right?
It's been a while since I've done my hair, since I put lip gloss on or mascara or even worn a bra or gotten dressed. We've talked about this.
Yeah, but, I mean, I think everybody's pretty much in that boat.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I see these girls on social media and they're all done up and I'm just thinking, like, really?
Yeah, but you know what that's about.
What? What's it about?
That's just sort of maintaining that social media influencer thing.
Yeah, but that means that they have to get up and do that all the time. They're getting up and they're getting dressed and they're getting all done up all the time. Like today we had to do some stuff. We did some videos for some friends who are doing some fundraisers. And so we did some stuff for them. So we thought, yeah, let's put this on video as well since some people have asked us for it.
We did a thing for it's an event coming up on May 14th. By the way, once again, this is not a Corona cough.
You sure?
Pretty sure. It's a tequila. It kind of went, I'm good. We did a thing for the if I've got it, you've got it already. Trust me.
If you've got it, I want it.
Okay. For the Motion Picture Television Fund, which is, it's an organization that's been around a long time and they're great. Yeah. And they take care of, I think some people have this perception that they just take care of retired actors and actresses, but it's everybody in the entertainment business, from actors to writers to directors to key grips to catering people to everybody that's been in that either
the community of the entire entertainment industry, and it's a wonderful community. And having worked in the entertainment industry, both of us, for so long, we've made such good friends and we know such amazing people in this business that it's really nice to be able to support an organization that takes care of people when they really need it the most.
So they're doing a fundraiser on May 14th. If you for those of you who follow us on social media, you'll see we'll be mentioning it.
Yeah. So we did that today. We had to kind of get
you look gorgeous.
I had to pull myself together for that. So we thought,
boy, did you ever, but you looked pretty hot this morning too. So
I'm not wearing any pants. So just kidding.
If only that was true.
Just kidding. But so this will live on our on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I think I have a YouTube channel, and if not, I'll pull one together.
Well, you should. It's easy. I'll walk you through it.
Okay, thanks.
And there's really we've never really we've done some IGTV Tequila Talks, but since we started the official podcast of Tequila Talk, we have never filmed one, so this will be the first one. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. I kind of jotted some things down that I wanted to talk about.
I'm so glad you did.
Forget. Yeah. So I want to start with nostalgia because I know you've been a little nostalgic this week.
I have, and I don't remember whether I referenced it briefly on the last episode, but one of the things that I've been doing just a little bit here and there with some of this downtime has been, as you can imagine, I've accumulated literally thousands of tapes, actual tapes, cassette tapes, things called digital audio tapes, which are called DATs, CDs, you name it. And to transfer all that stuff to a digital file on your computer is time consuming and a fucking pain in the ass.
But you've been having fun with it.
Well, it turns out that it is kind of fun because I found these box after box after box of tapes, and I found some things that really did make me nostalgic. Everything from, I found the demo of Right Here Waiting and the demo of Don't Mean Nothing, and I found
the original demos.
Yeah, the first recordings of them before they were records,
and they sound exactly the same as
sound
you sound now.
They sound pretty close,
exactly the same.
But there are also these tapes of songs that you've never heard and you never will because they sucked.
No, I mean some of them.
No, look, I was young.
But you're pulling some of them out, and you might release some of them.
But it is making me nostalgic because there's songs I'm finding that I wrote when I was 16 years old, 15 years old.
Okay, maybe not those.
Yeah, but they're actually recordings. They're demos. They're actual recordings, and so I'm transferring them over, and it's making me just think about what was going on in my life and what my hair looked like back then, which was really, you should have seen it.
Amazing.
I mean, speaking of, do I need a fucking haircut? Bad?
No, I like it. You don't need anything.
I know you keep saying that, but
just relax.
It's a little crazy.
It's great hair.
So yeah, it's been happily nostalgic because it's put me back into like I found a tape of me and Kenny Rogers writing a song together.
That's amazing.
So a lot of times what you do is when you write a song with someone, especially with someone else, or even by yourself, back in the days before laptop computers or digital recorders, you just had a little cassette machine and you would just let it roll because you didn't want to miss like if somebody sang something or played something and then they immediately forgot what they played, you wanted to just be able to rewind it. And so I would just tape everything. I would record everything. And I have I found all these tapes of me writing with Kenny Rogers and Keith Urban. And it's nostalgic in a really sweet way, especially with Kenny Rogers because we just lost him recently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You're not really nostalgic, are you?
I'm really not. No, but I've been finding myself having some short-term nostalgia. Is that a thing? Like, can that be a thing?
Like you're finding yourself happily nostalgic for something that happened last Thursday?
Something that happened like a couple of months ago. Yeah. Like, so I'm missing.
You're wistful for last Wednesday
I'm
afternoon.
wistful for like, plane rides and for
that stuff.
Yeah, for going to a bar with you and having a martini or for going to a restaurant and those little things that we all kind of took for granted. I'm kind of like feeling nostalgic for those things in a way that you wouldn't expect for such a short period of time. Like we were doing those things 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, 2.5, yeah.
2.5 months ago, we were dropping into a bar. And
there's a bar in New York. We made the decision to self-quarantine coming home from a trip to New York. We talked about this, but it was March 6th or 7th, I think. And the night before, or maybe a couple nights before, it would have been a couple nights before we made the decision, we went to this bar in New York that is one of our favorite places to go get a drink. And it's just the most elegant, beautiful place. But it's interesting, and I mention that because when you talk about going to a bar to have a drink with me, we don't go to crowded places anyway.
No, not like loud,
no,
crazy.
But the fact that we can't even go to a place that normally we would maybe
those
look
places
around
are
and
closed
see
right now.
7 people or 8 people total. We can't do that either. Those
places are closed right now, and those are the places that I like doing those things. Yeah, I like going to our favorite restaurants or saying, let's when do we have a little time off? Let's get on a plane and go visit our family in Miami, or let's catch up with my sister. Let's take a little vacation with the family.
And
I'm
really
missing my parents in Miami.
I love that we're both really impulsive that way too. Like we'll go, you know what? You don't have shows until the 10th. You know what? Let's just go to Miami until the 8th, or let's go. Let's book it and let's go in 2 days. Or
Yeah, and I miss that. So I find, for the first time, I find myself thinking of these things in a way, not nostalgic, kind of like, I don't know when it's going to happen again.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
You know, not like, oh, I'm looking forward to when it's going to happen again. I'm nostalgic, like, I don't think that's ever going to happen again. I mean, I know it's going to happen again, but because I don't know when, you know, I'm kind of just...
I don't know about you guys, but I mean, look, first of all, the name of the show is Tequila Talk. So you know that we like to drink and we love the ceremony of cocktail hour. And so I don't know about you guys, but Daisy and I, from the time we were really early in our courtship of dating, we have these places that we like to just sit and have a drink and talk. We had them at the house where she was living when I met her. We certainly had a really special place at the house that I ended up buying and that we ended up living in together for a while. And the fact that that's really all we're doing now and finding other little spots to go sit and have a drink and talk. I don't know if you guys are doing that out of necessity, but there's something really awesome about that too. As much as I do miss what you're talking about, I've really embraced
I love it.
Being home with you and just
love that part of this. That's the part of all of this that I have truly embraced and that I want to hold on to is being home more. Being home more. I love cooking at home. I love
eating. She's such a great cook. We've talked about that.
I know I'm not a great cook, but I love cooking more and I love eating home cooked food more. I feel, we've talked about this before, I really do feel better for it.
Yeah, me too.
I like being home. I like that part of it. I just, I wish we could have our friends over a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's what all. Yeah, that's what I'm going to hold on to. That part of it I am going to hold on to. And so yeah, there's some good bits and some things that I'm very nostalgic for, which I've never really been nostalgic for anything.
No, I just mean that
really.
All the time I've known you have great stories, but they're not told in a nostalgic way. They're just
really
great
miss
stories.
Things.
Yeah, you don't ever think, oh yeah, I really miss doing that one.
No. I wanted to also talk about, that other thing we were bitching about this week.
Oh yeah.
Because this is an ongoing thing for us, the stay in your lane.
This is really a social media thing.
Stay in your lane. Well, it's social media, but it's also... It crosses social media in that I think people say it a lot outside of social media in reference to Hollywood folk.
Yeah.
Where
I get told to shut up and sing, which is, I don't know how physically I can do that.
You can try. You are very talented. But yeah, I think that there is this... there's this understanding, or there's this idea that just because you are from Hollywood or because you're in the entertainment industry, or if you're a model or an actor or a singer or some sort of, entertainment arts kind of person, you shouldn't have a political opinion. Or
if you do, you should keep it to yourself.
You should keep it to yourself because, we only want to see you do that other thing that we know that you do. Be a model. Shut up and be a model, or shut up and sing, or just shut up and act. Like, nobody wants to hear your opinion. And that really burns my ass. Because really? Really? So everybody should just shut up and do, like, you should just shut up and be a lawyer. You should just shut up and be a doctor.
We don't pay our taxes. Mm-hmm. We don't pay taxes.
Right.
And the First Amendment doesn't really apply to us.
Right. So everybody should just shut up and do what you do. You should just, like, be quiet and be a janitor. You should be quiet and be a teacher and not say what your political opinion is or what you believe in, or really?
Well, I do find, at least in my experience, that the majority, if not all the people who have said that kind of thing to me on social media are all very, very much behind Donald Trump, who was a celebrity. which is kind of hilarious in itself.
That is hilarious, but this goes back to even before Donald Trump. This goes back to before that.
Yeah, but I think that there's
no matter who is in office, and again, I want to address just one more thing, because this goes to a few comments that we've had of people commenting about the podcast, and people saying that they really like the podcast. And there have been a couple of comments of people saying, oh, maybe don't talk about politics. And we don't really. I just want to say.
I didn't see those, or I would have told them to go fuck themselves before you are.
Hang on. I just want to say that we don't really talk about politics in that way. Because... And that's the truth. I don't really, I've never been the kind of person to advocate for a politician. I've never gotten behind a politician, and I probably won't. I don't want to say never say never, but I probably won't. But we can talk about the topics of the day, right? And I'm not saying that I hate Republicans, and I'm not saying that I hate Democrats. I'm not saying that I love Democrats or that I love Republicans. But what I am saying is that Donald Trump is a fucking moron. Okay? And that's fair enough.
I think that's a bipartisan truth.
I think that is obvious, regardless.
It's not obvious to the people who don't believe that.
Listen, I think you can be a Republican, and if you've got half a brain, you can be like, you know what? I'm a Republican. I voted for Donald Trump, and I can agree that he's a fucking moron. Fair enough. You know what? Respect, because you've got
but we're not going to get political.
Sense. But that's not political. That's not political, is it?
No, but I think that, going more back onto the actual topic that you raised, I think that what is so reeking of hypocrisy, which is the thing that irritates me more than anything else. Like, if you have an opinion about something, and we differ, whether it's about politics or ideology or whatever, but we just have a difference of opinion, that's fine. But when you say to me, I don't care what you think.
Right.
I don't want to hear from some celebrity. And these are people on Twitter, for example. And then if you look at their Twitter feed, they're retweeting people like James Woods or Ted Nugent or Scott Baio or anybody who are these
who agrees with them,
super right-wing, known to be right-wing celebrities, which is fine. I have no problem with them. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't. But if you're gonna just sort of bubble over with that level of hypocrisy, I feel the need to sort of call that out.
Right. And that's been going on for a very, very long time. People who just seem to think that if you are in the entertainment industry, you have no right to talk about anything political, including anything that, for example, these protests, or, how this health crisis has become a political issue as well as a health crisis. And so, of course, we're going to comment on it, and we're going to talk about it. It's something that is very much on my mind, and it's something that there are some things that I want to get off my chest, and there are some things that I want to comment on. And people are just like, shut up, that we don't want to hear what you have to say on that. And, everybody has a right to their opinion. And these are people who are coming to my feed.
Well, these are people who are coming to your feed to tell you that they don't care what you think.
Yeah, and
which is hilarious.
And I just think that I pay my taxes, and we all have a right to our opinion. So I just want to remind people, because there may be some people listening to us who are of that mindset of stay in your lane, and it's not fair.
No,
and I don't.
It's offensive. It's really offensive.
I
would never,
it's ridiculous,
ever
really
be so arrogant as to tell a plumber, you know what? You should only comment about plumbing.
Right.
You have no right. Like, nobody wants to hear anything you have to say other than about plumbing. The thought of that, the tiny mindedness of that is just so ignorant and obnoxious. So don't do that. Don't be that person.
Yeah. And so I just think that, that needs to be put out there, because, if you're someone who thinks that, maybe this is something else to think about, and that's that's another topic. I think it's really important that if you think a certain way and someone presents something for you to think about that might get you to change your mind, maybe perhaps gets you to see something in a way that you hadn't seen it before, and you're able to say, you know what, I hadn't thought of that in that way before, and you're able to change your mind, then even more respect to you. because that's wonderful. The ability to change your mind.
I love changing my opinion about things that where I wouldn't have done that had I not been presented with some information that made me go, oh, really?
Right. Yeah, we all have that privilege to change our minds. So, keep an open mind with things. And if somebody is saying something like that is really closed-minded, then, maybe present them with the idea that, that's really not nice and that's really rude to say to people. And everybody has the right to say an opinion, and we should all be a little bit more open-mindedness.
Yeah. And if you're a person who really does think that I don't have a right to speak my opinion because I'm an entertainer, then I ask you to pay my tax bill.
I would like a little more tequila, please, Richard Mars. But yeah, so that's that.
We'll be right back after this short break.
I really thought you were the one, but to you I'm just another one. And I should just give you up, 'cause I'm just another one down. Maybe the truth about us is all just a little too loud. I'm looking back too much when I know I should just give you up, 'cause I'm just another one down. Just another one down.
What else you got?
I've got well, we should stay a little bit on that since we're talking about how
the state's opening up again. I mean, other states are opening up, but California's opening. Where we live is opening up on Friday.
Don't want to hear our opinion on that. Trump has unveiled guidelines for opening up America again. There's a 3-phased approach. Thank you very much for that. Hang on, I'm gonna take a sip. That's delicious.
Dos Artes. We call it Dos Artes.
That's very nice. That's
really nice.
That's a good accent, Richard Marx.
I'm trying, my love. My Latina love.
So there's a 3-phased approach based on the advice of public health experts. And, wearing a mask, of course, is mandatory. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that everyone should wear some sort of a cloth face covering thing or a mask, although then they say they don't know really how much that helps, but they say that it may help, but it's really not a substitute for social distancing, that is still the most important thing. But since everything is slowly opening up again, I don't know how much social distancing we're going to be able to do. So what the fuck is really happening?
Well, I think the most shocking, at least for me, the most shocking piece of information really just happened in the last 24 hours, which is the White House, FEMA, put out a report based upon information collected by the CDC. So it's pretty legit. They predict that by June, the daily death toll will be double what it is now. It'll be 3,000 people a day. And the daily infection rate will go from about 60,000, which it is now, to about 200,000 a day. So if that's the case, that's all the more reason why I just I can't understand how, as much as everybody, believe me, I want to go back to fucking work. We all want to go fucking back to work. But I also don't want to die. And I also don't want to be killed by some asshole who wants to get his hair cut and it's not time yet.
I know this is still, we've been talking about this. I know we've talked about this before, but it's still it's an
ongoing dialogue.
It's still the dialogue of the moment, and especially now more than ever, since the country is in the middle of phase 1, I suppose, of opening up again, and people are.
I mean, the guy that I'm listening to the most, and that you and I are listening to, is Dr. Michael Osterholm, who's an epidemiologist from University of Minnesota.
He's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I really admire and respect everything that he has to say. He's been talking about this
for decades.
The first time I can remember him really predicting and talking about this was 2006.
Yeah, he was on Oprah's
He was on
show.
Oprah, and he was talking about how
There's a clip on YouTube. If you just Google his name, Dr. Michael Osterholm, and Oprah, you'll see this clip from 2006.
and he's really
it's-
talking about everything that is happening right now.
It's chilling
Exactly.
in its prophecy. It's like
Yeah.
everything he's saying is like, holy shit, everything that he's talking about is happening to us right now.
It's
He
amazing.
predicted it.
And so when he talks about what he thinks is going to happen in the next year or two, right now, you have to really pay attention because this guy doesn't really work for the government. He doesn't really work for anyone.
He doesn't have a dog in the
He
race.
doesn't have an agenda, and you have to kind of stop and listen.
And he's just been right, and he's extremely experienced. Like, if you respect Dr. Fauci, if you're someone who dismisses someone like Dr. Fauci, then you're just not going to listen to anybody except who you want. But if you do respect Dr. Fauci and you're unaware of Dr. Osterholm, you should listen to him as well, because he's been pretty spot on for decades. And his quote is, as of this last couple of days, his quote is that he feels that we have to look at this like we're in the second inning of 9. And that's really
scary.
That's not what we want to hear.
No.
But he is not here to sugarcoat it.
Right. And then you have all these people who are people who cite objections with the mistaken belief that the requirement of wearing a face mask is unconstitutional because they're saying they can't be forced to wear a face mask.
Well, there's also the Ohio lawmaker who just said he's not wearing a mask because God didn't wear one.
Okay.
Saying what he said.
Anyway, there's that. So we're gonna have to deal with more of that bullshit. So should we just move on to another topic?
Maybe.
Let's yeah. Murder hornets have arrived.
Oh, yeah, some good news. And the timing couldn't be more impeccable. Thanks, murder hornets.
Murder hornets have arrived in the U.S. That's right.
That's awesome.
And here's what you should know. So the world's largest wasp has been spotted in Washington State, but don't panic. Just yet, because
I'm panicking a little bit.
Efforts are underway.
Have you seen those fucking things?
No, and I don't want to, but apparently efforts are underway to stop it from spreading. We've heard that before. Where have we heard that before? Okay, so with the toxic venom that their large stingers deliver, the insects already are known for killing people in their native habitats. In Japan, an average of 30 to 50 people each year die from the hornet stings. So in 2013, when populations of the hornets were usually really high, they killed 42 people in a single Chinese province.
The stinger can puncture a suit, like a beekeeper's suit. It can sting you through it.
That's right.
That's a nasty motherfucker.
And they also kill...
Trump thinks questions are nasty? That's a nasty motherfucker right there.
And they also kill honeybees. So that's really
the
scary too.
Ecological risk.
Yeah. So but they're saying don't worry because they've got it under control, allegedly. So, but the problem is that they've already been spotted in Washington State. So
yeah, that's next door.
How did they get here, and how do they have it under control, and how are we going to get rid of them, and why shouldn't we panic?
We're going to need a lot more tequila.
Yeah, we're going to need some bigger suits.
And
we're going to need more face masks.
And some bee spray, hornet spray.
We're going to need more Lysol.
Yeah. I swear. Like, wait, now there's fucking murder hornets? What? 2020 sucks ass, by the way.
Seriously, and not in a good way. Just kidding.
Cheers to that, Daisy Fuentes. Woo! On our next episode of Tequila Talk, Daisy describes the good way of...
Listen, we're all going to die. The world's going to shit between the hornets and the coronavirus and the assholes not wearing the masks. And, just have a tequila and come on.
Yeah.
Let's all just lighten up, right?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I know I'm trying, and I think I'm succeeding. I think we're both succeeding.
Yeah, I think we've lightened up this week. I think we've had a nice week.
Yeah.
Since our last podcast, I think we've done really well.
You've been your ass has been burning less.
I mean, that's just because you've been busy doing your tapes and you haven't had to listen to my shit as much.
But I mean, compared to the last couple of episodes where you're like, you know what burns my ass?
There've been a couple.
You've been a little less. You've been sitting a little more comfortably lately.
Well, that's just because I'm trying to be a little less annoying on this podcast. But, I mean,
you got to be real. You got to keep it real.
Listen, I could definitely go there, but I'm trying to be a little more positive.
You are. You're succeeding.
I'm really not. I'm just trying. I can only try.
But I think it's also been great because the weather's been nice and we've been outside more.
Yeah, that is happening.
That does really help.
That helps.
I know it helps you. Helps me too. But you're a different person. Like if you really are cooped up.
Oh, yeah. If I can't get outside,
you got to have some
really
nature, and especially near the water or in the water and just walking on the beach. And we're so lucky that we get to do that, but you need that.
That has been, as we get into our best and worst of the week.
Oh, is it time for that?
Let's do that, because my best of the week has been that being able to be outside more. This week, I have disconnected from social media a little bit more.
Yeah, me too.
I've done my checks in the morning. I kind of check the news, and I'll go on social media and do a little bit of that. But most of the day, we have been taking our walks on the beach. We have been with our dog. You've been doing your social posts, your music, all your work that you have to do for that. And other than that, we've been outside and we've been, cooking and playing with our dog, and we've been walking and exercising, and that's been great.
Yeah.
That's been really good. That's been helpful
sure.
to me a lot. You?
What's my best of the week?
Yeah.
The sex we had last night.
That was good.
It wasn't good.
What about the night before?
And I think that, I'm not just being crass, but I think that anybody could probably take a wild guess that we have a pretty fun, active sex life.
Okay, we're going to do this now?
We might as well. We are.
Why are we doing this?
Your
mother listens to this podcast.
My mother knows we have an active sex life.
Okay.
And I think that there are, if you're lucky enough to be in a relationship with someone where you have a really fun sex life, this kind of quarantine sort of like, it's just made it that much more fun. Even
really?
better. Yeah, I think so.
How so?
It's not radically different, but it's sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You asked me, and
but it's not. But how's it different? It's not
I
like
didn't
we're
say it was
hanging from the
different.
chandeliers or anything. It's
no,
like
I didn't say it's different. I'm just saying it's sort of, it's just even. Look, if it could be slightly or incrementally more intense or more occasional or whatever,
I think that what you're saying is that you're home more.
Yes.
We're together more.
Yeah.
Whereas you were getting into before all this happened, you were getting into quite a routine where you were traveling so much.
And I was about to be gone away from you for the longest I would ever have been at that point.
I was going to catch up with him on tour, but
it would have been 3 weeks.
You were going to be gone for 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, before
and
I caught up with
we've
you.
never been apart for 3 weeks.
Right. And before that, you were already traveling a lot.
Yeah, I was traveling a lot. So yeah, maybe that's it.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're
whatever
really,
it is, I like it.
Yeah. You know what sucks is the people who are in bad situations with roommates
or they're with people they have really horrible sex with.
What do people do who are having an affair? What do you guys do? You people who, because there are a lot of people who are having an affair who have,
there are people who have separate lives,
right.
separate families.
I wonder what they're doing with those people, like people who now have to be quarantined.
And how do you choose?
Well, you don't have a choice if you're with your spouse, right? And you have a lover elsewhere. Yeah. You have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a lover or a couple of lovers.
That could be the perfect excuse to say, I'm out.
Gosh, what do you guys do? I want to hear from you guys. Can you leave some comments anonymously of what you're doing? If you have like a lover on the side, what have you been doing? Are you like sexting? what are you doing? Because you can't really go out and see your people, your lover. And you can't like.
You're not supposed to.
Huh. That's interesting.
And if you're married or if you're in a committed relationship and you do want to, like, how do you, I guess you'd be like, I'm going to go put on a mask and go to the store. I guess.
And then what? Because you can check into like a motel and you can.
Yeah.
It's not like you can. Things just got difficult.
The shenanigans are going to continue in some way, shape, or form. But it is probably problematic for people who are carrying on. Certainly, who are carrying on like full-on separate relationships.
Yeah.
Not just occasional hookups. That's probably
absolutely
still doable. But
yeah, we
want to know. Tell us.
Yeah, that's interesting. We haven't really. Do we know anybody who's having affairs like that?
I haven't known anybody in a while. I haven't known anybody in a while.
No,
I did know a guy years ago. I was not friends with him, but he was involved with my business world, and he was this really sort of uptight, straight-laced guy. And I found out that he had a separate family, another woman and kids with that woman, and the two women didn't know about each other. One was in one part of the country, and one was and he traveled a lot. So that was his way of, but still to set up shop and have a fucking family elsewhere.
That's a lot of work, and that's just deception and like what a douche.
And I stopped working with him. This is 25 years ago, and like maybe 5 or 6 years later, I think I remember hearing that he died of a heart attack, and I was like,
no shit.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean.
But that funeral was interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Have we met? No.
Yeah, I always think about that. Like wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. That's just a lot of work. Like I could not sleep at night.
No.
Like you're a lot of work. I can't imagine like having somebody else to have to like you're like a full.
I'm a lot of work.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes. You
Really?
require my entire.
I'm high maintenance?
Yes.
In what way?
In every way. You require my full attention. My entire energy has to go to you. Are a thing. You're a full-time thing.
Apparently. Well, I hope I'm your full-time thing.
You do not leave room for anyone to like have any part-time anything.
I have your undivided attention is what you're saying.
You require.
I require. It's
Yes.
true. It would be even more difficult for you than most people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, not that I want to, but even if I wanted to, it would be like, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Not with Richard Marx, of all people.
Who is it that follows me around the house, room to room?
Betty Davis and me. Sometimes I follow you.
Mm-hmm. I like it though.
Sometimes.
Are we doing the worst of the week or are we going to leave that one alone? Keep it positive.
Worst of the week. What was my worst of the week? Yeah, let's leave out the worst of the week because I can't really remember it.
Yeah.
Huh. So if I can't really remember it,
Right.
why force it, right? Okay,
No.
that's a great point. Okay. Let's just do the best of the week now because I can't really think of the worst of the week.
I don't think we have to do
The worst of the week if we can't remember it.
yeah, unless something like really burned your ass this week,
Well,
which
I
could
think
be
I
your
already
worst
talked
of the
about
week.
it. Well, listen, we could be here all day.
My only worst of the week, I'll throw one out rather than just eliminate the topic. Because I don't know, I would imagine that a lot of people are going through a similar thing. And I historically, I don't talk details when it comes to my private life. Even talking about sex with you, who didn't get detailed. Just said it was awesome. I'm having an issue with one of my sons. I have 3 sons, and I'm having an issue with one of my sons, and it's weighing on me every day. Like we're kind of in a little of a falling out, and we have had our issues in the past, but then we've been really, really close, and right now that's one of those things where it's anybody who has kids, or even if they're, and my sons are grown men, when you're off with one of them, or you're just having a rift, it colors the best moment of every day for me.
Yeah.
So it's like I can be, oh, this is the greatest, or oh, what a beautiful day. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, but I'm having a thing with him. So that's a drag. I'm really bummed out about that.
Yeah, but like you said, it happens, and you can really only have those situations when you have a good relationship with your sons. When you have a good relationship with your children, then you can only have those moments of arguments or falling out.
Yeah, it's not lack of communication.
Right. So
it's just stuff, shit happens.
Shit happens.
And then it happened, and then you're like, what the fuck happened?
Especially when they're adults, and we're all going through a time right now where we're all more stressed out than normal. But, like you said, they're grown men.
Yeah.
And you do have good relationships with all of them. You're very close, and you wouldn't have these moments if you weren't very close with them.
Right.
So that's a good thing. And
that's true. And it wouldn't weigh on me if I didn't love them and have as close a relationship with them as I do. You're right.
Yeah. And you wouldn't feel it every day.
It still sucks though.
It does suck. It wouldn't weigh on you if you weren't that close with all of them.
I don't like it.
Like you said, you'll resolve it. It'll work itself out.
Yeah. But it's a drag. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry that you
I know.
have
you've been great to talk to about it, but you know what I mean? It's like I hate that.
Yeah.
So that's my worst of the week. Hopefully it won't be the worst of the week next week.
Yeah. As we closed off the last show, I remember saying that I was feeling a little bit off, and that I was going to figure out how I could feel a little bit better.
Right.
I was feeling really blah, and I was like feeling like I had aged, 20 years in the last 2 months, and I was just feeling really crappy about myself, and I was gonna do some research and, I don't know, maybe meditate more and find out how I could feel a little bit better about myself. And I was thinking about it, and I think the conclusion that I came to was that I don't have to feel better for anyone. I don't
Except
have
you.
Yeah, I don't have to buy into this whole, you have to be this person at this time for anyone. You don't have to meditate more. You don't have to find a new hobby. You don't have to do anything, because we are going through this incredibly weird time in our life. And whatever it is that I'm feeling is fair. And however it is that I am going through this is fine. And I think I have to feel everything that I'm feeling. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want to, sweep it under the carpet. I don't want to, do happy-go-lucky little, like, fluffy videos about it. I want to go through it. And I might want to bitch and moan and be like, I'm not having a good time, and I don't know how to figure it out yet. And I don't have to feel good every day, and I don't have to be great about it. I don't think many of us do. And I think a lot of us are having okay moments, and a lot of us are having shitty moments, and that's fine.
It's just life. It's just normal.
But this is not normal.
But what you just described shouldn't be relegated to during a crisis or a pandemic.
You're right.
You should always be, especially...
Yeah, you're right. But no. But especially during this. I think during regular life, yes. During regular life, it's not...
Do you think that there's an expectation of all of us that during this time we're supposed to behave a certain way, or supposed to take more stock, or supposed to be more creative, or supposed to be more self... what's the word?
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be more self-reflective.
And
I think we're supposed to come out of this like learning some new hobby or a new language or learning how to be like, I don't know, be like 15 pounds thinner or like be like in terrific shape or some crazy thing or be more enlightened or I don't know. It's what I'm seeing on social media. I'm seeing all these.
That's not life. That's not real life.
I know, but I'm just saying that that's what I'm seeing. And
well, it depends because that's not what you see on Twitter. That's what you see on Instagram.
Well, no, on Twitter, I'm just seeing the same kind of anger that I usually see.
Yeah, there's
maybe a little bit
rage.
more.
It's a rage fest.
It's a rage, but no. In
Instagram
general,
is where you go. That's where you see like, let's meditate more, which is great. But
and yoga and work out, and here's what we're doing, and look, we built a house in the last month, and we, and I don't know.
They need to go fuck themselves. Those people.
No, I think it's great, and some of it inspires me. Some of it really is inspiring.
Sure,
but
you're entitled to
take it with a grain of salt, and I'm just like, it's not really real.
I've said this before. You're entitled to feel exactly how you feel.
Yes, and maybe that's not. Maybe it's not the right way to feel in your regular life when you are expected to go out and be productive and do your regular life. Maybe at that point you should be a little bit more productive, and you have more distractions, but. I don't know. Not right now. Right now, I am more in my head and I'm not feeling great every day. And there's some good parts about it. And I'm dealing with all of that. And I think we all are. So I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I've discovered this 4-step method on how to feel like really fucking amazing and you'll be like farting rainbows and shit. And it's like, no.
Yeah,
I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh, please let me know.
I will.
Give me some advance warning on that one.
I will. In the meantime, I'll just toast.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Salud.
Salud. What are we doing for dinner?
Oh, vegan pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I love that.
You guys be safe.
We'll see you guys next week on Tequila Talk. Be safe, be smart, and don't take any shit from anybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Tequila Talk with Daisy Fuentes and Richard Marx. Download new episodes every week, and if you haven't already, subscribe and be sure to leave us a rating and review. And while you're at it, check out some of the other great shows available on Straw Hut Media.